With just 4 ingredients, you can have amazing custard. Hey everyone, welcome back to Pop Keto, where we aim to help you live a keto and low carb lifestyle. Today's recipe is a dessert. It is custard. You might even use it as a component in a bigger dessert. But if you think it's one of those things you have to miss out on while you're doing keto and low carb, that's not the case. Hey, we just want to say a big thank you as well to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We really appreciate you guys. If you're enjoying our videos, why not hit the subscribe button now? And if you haven't seen what we're doing, why not have a look at some of the other videos that we've got on the channel. Also, if you do try cooking any of our recipes, put a photo up on the social, tag us at popketo_, and we'd love to share your photos with the people who are watching. All right, so let's get into today's recipe. This is custard. This is so simple and it is so good. If you think you're missing out on that custard that comes in a carton, this is your fix. Okay, so our 4 ingredients are just cream, egg yolks, a sweetener, today we're using erythritol, and then just some vanilla flavoring. And it's effectively just 4 steps as well. We mix 3 of the ingredients together in a bowl, we heat up the cream, add the cream into the bowl, then we put it all back into the pot just to bring it back up to temperature, and we're done. So let's get into it. All right, so we are going to start off by preparing our egg yolks. Just move a few of these things aside. There is an easy way to separate egg yolks, so what I'm going to show you is this. Crack it open, pop it into a bowl, anyone will do. I've got a little glass one here, and then with clean hands, you just go in, scoop the yolk out. Boom, 1, done, that easy. I'll do the rest. I'm also saving the yolks. I'm going to put them into this little container here because we don't want to waste that goodness. All right, 6 eggs. Okay, so that is 6 egg yolks there. Just give my hands a quick wash and then we'll do the next step. Now the egg whites that I've got here, I could store in the freezer in a plastic bag or even in an ice cube tray in single eggs, but I am shortly going to make a pavlova, so I'm just going to put it in the fridge for now. Now our pavlova recipe is actually one of the most popular videos on the channel, so if you haven't had a look at it, please do. Our next ingredient is erythritol, so I'm just going to pull out a scale, and we're measuring out 65 grams of erythritol. Now, last ingredient for this section is a tablespoon of vanilla essence. Again, just making sure it's a no added sugar vanilla. All right, and with my whisk, I'm just gonna stir that up. That is done. So here I have 500 mils of double cream. So I'm just gonna pour in here. So what we're doing here is we're going to bring this cream up to 85 degrees in temperature, stirring continuously. We don't want the heat to be too hot on this because we don't want to burn the cream. We just want to gently bring it up to what's close to a simmer. So we are slowly getting there. We're up to 45 degrees, 68 degrees, getting there. Now at this point, you don't want to get too much of the thin wash up the sides as you're stirring, because that's the sort of thing that will cause lumps to come into your custard. But keep it moving if you can. Coming up now, 2, 4. Now we have 85. I'm going to take that off, continuing to stir it. Now, if you do not have a thermometer, you can still do it. What you're aiming for is a temperature just before it simmers. So cream warm enough that it's just below simmering. Now from here, we are going to slowly pour this into our egg mixture and whisk at the same time. If we just dump the whole lot in there while it's warm, we're just gonna end up scrambling our eggs, which is not what we want. So we're just gonna pour in a little bit at a time and continually whisk. Let's go. So I'm even whisking before I get it in there, just a little bit to start off with. There we go, a little bit more. To put a little bit more in there now, a little bit more. Now just putting the whole thing in. So once you've got about half of it in, you can probably go a little bit harder and put the rest of it in there. Beautiful. Nice and smooth. Now the eggs are going to be what sets this custard. So we're going to pour this mixture back into our little pot here, little pan. and get as much as we can back into the pot. So that's it, steps 1 to 3 done. Final step, we just need to bring this back up to temperature. So we're aiming for that 85 degrees or just below simmer. And I'm just going to use my whisk to keep this moving. All right, so we're getting back up close to the 60 mark. What I just want to show you real quick is that at the moment, this is quite smooth and quite runny. Now when we get close to that 85 mark, what you'll see is actually as you're stirring the custard with the whisk, it will leave a trail behind it. So I'll show you that when we're nearly there. So that's coming up to 75, 10 degrees to go. And if I show you again, that is still quite runny. Starting to thicken maybe a little. Just want to keep the sides down. All right, 81 degrees now. And you can see it's starting to thicken now a little. But once it reaches that magic 85 number, mwah. And there we have it, 85 degrees. So if I show you that now, you can see it's much thicker. You can see the lines that the whisk is leaving behind it. And that is exactly what we want. Perfect, that's it. It's up to temperature, it is done. Now you've got two options here. You can serve it warm like that, and if you have a crumble or something like that you've put together, that would be absolutely beautiful. The other thing you could do is put it in the fridge to have it cold another time, which is my preference actually. So to do that, we are putting it in a glass container. Doesn't have to be a glass container, but a sealable container, and we'll get as much of that in there as we can. If you were having this at a dinner party or something like that, you might even want to run it through a sip or something, just to make sure it's super smooth and you get out any possible lumps that have come through. Now, if we let this cool as is, it's actually going to form a skin over the top of it, which isn't very pleasant. So we're just going to cover it with a layer of cling wrap, and we're actually going to let the cling wrap touch the top of the custard as we put it in. So it's covered and goes all the way to the edges, like so. Okay, lid on, and we can put that in the fridge. And as they say in the classics, here's one I prepared earlier. This one's been in the fridge overnight, and you can see that's nice and tight there. And as we peel this off, look at that. That is amazing. That is brilliant just as it is. Today I'm going to serve it over some berries, lovely strawberries. So let's give this a taste. Oh, this is so good. It's creamy, it's vanilla-y, it's everything you would want in a custard. And like I said at the start, if you feel like you're missing those custard that comes in a carton, this is like that, but much nicer. So nutrition in this, you've got the egg yolks, and egg yolks have got a little bit of calcium, a little bit of magnesium, a little bit of potassium, a little bit of sodium. You've got your cream in there, which is again, obviously got calcium in it, but it's also got your fats that you're wanting on your keto diet. We've used erythritol as a sweetener, and as that's a polyol, you don't count any of the carbs on that. And then vanilla is just yum. So if you're looking for ways to increase your fats on your diet, if you're not hitting your fat macros, this is a great idea. So I hope you enjoy that, guys. I certainly have, and I'm going to continue to. This is so good. Again, hit the like button, watch another video, click subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.